morning and welcome to the 7th annual spring senior production of Ardios Academies of Greenville. Tonight you're going to see a really fantastic show on stage and we are excited to bring it to you. We had to hold the doors for a little bit because of the crowd, so thank you so much for coming. The first thing I want to ask you to do is to take out your cell phones. And I'm not going to tell you to turn them off just yet. Take out your cell phones and share, tweet, post on Facebook. Guess what? I'm at this really awesome event tonight. You can hashtag Ardios Green. Easy, A-R-T-I-O-S Green. And let people know that you're here and let them know how fantastic the show is. We have 2 more shows. One is tomorrow at 2 and one at tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And we'd love to have you all come back, bring your friends or tell your friends and send them. It's a fantastic show and we've gotten some great reviews in the community. I first of all need to thank our sponsors. We have some wonderful sponsors that, through their generous contributions, have allowed us to produce the show that you're going to see tonight. So I'd like to recognize Fusion Audio and Video, Children's Medical Center, World News Group, Americrete, Bob Jones University, RCS Grading, North Greenville University, and Radio Rebellion, a really great band that's for hire, FYI, in the Anderson and Greenville area. Critical important information, bathrooms. Right around the corner, the men's is on the left, and the ladies is all the way down the hall on the left. We will have an intermission. There are concessions available out there, and Ardios is sponsoring an independent new one-act musical called Mutually Exclusive. Our musical director, Colton Beach, has written and will produce it. So anything that you do and any concessions you buy will go to help his show because he's a brand new, very brilliant, starving artist, if you want to know the truth. And I'm thrilled that Ardios is able to partner with him and help him become successful as another pretty incredible artist. Also, now I'm going to ask you to turn off your cell phones. All right, time to turn them off. Don't have any flash photography. Videotaping is prohibited. And the last thing I want to encourage you to do is to laugh and to clap, and to tap your feet, and to fully get into it, because the more you give this cast, the more they will give back to you. So let me open in prayer, and then we will start our show. Father God, thank you for this amazing crowd who chose to come here tonight in a very busy and very exciting city of the arts, and to give their time and their money and their efforts and their focus and attention to this amazing cast as we give them this show. Father, I pray you keep everyone safe. Thank you that you have kept everyone in the cast safe this week, that you've protected from serious injury, and I pray that you would just help the cast to be excited and be able to give everything they've got to this crowd. And Lord, I pray you'd allow the crowd to be able to receive it and give it back and just really enjoy being a part of River City tonight. We give you the praise and the glory for everything that you do. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Without further ado, I give you Meredith Wilson's The Music Man.
crazy with the heat. Credit's no good for an ocean salesman.
Board! Board!
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an animal salesman. Your affirmative credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City! River City Net!
Cash, burn. Cash, burn the button.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash, burn the soft goods. Cash, burn the fancy goods.
Cash for the noggins and the pigeons and the fur goods.
Cash for the hogshead, cash and demijohn, cash for the crackers and the pickles and the flies.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bicker, you can talk. You can bicker, 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 you can talk, you can talk. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, 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 you can talk all you want to, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
That's the Model T boy. Made it trouble, made the people wanna go, wanna get, up they go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bit too? Like one store anymore.
What do you talk? What do you talk?
At the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get it?
Talk. What do you talk? What do you talk?
Where do you get
You
it?
can talk, you can talk. You can bicker, you can talk. You can talk, 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 talk. Bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want to, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. But you gotta know the territory.
Why, if you need a biscuit made of trouble, you need to put the crackers in a package, you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package. Made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail pouch cut plug chawing by the stove. It changed the approach of a traveling salesman. It made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But you gotta know the territory.
Gone with the hogshead, casket, demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fella by the name of Hill?
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 Hill.
Hill!
No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman Hill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory. What's the fellow's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his
Or
line.
the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or do you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T Ford?
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Where's that line?
Or a doggone thing. He's just a bang beat bell ring, a big haul, great go, neck or nothing, ripping roaring every time. A bullseye salesman, and that's Professor Harold Hill.
He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk?
He's a music man. He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums, big brass bass, and the piccolo with uniforms too, with the shiny gold braid on the coat and a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living on the big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there Jews are.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys bands, and I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he plucks and he shines, and when the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he doesn't know the territory.
Charlie, why don't you sit down?
River City. We're across the state line into Iowa. Population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. Board!
All right. You're all through. I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Hill.
Never met him before in my life. But I'll tell you this much. He's given every single one of us a black eye. Once he's worked the town over, the next salesman who arrived gets automatically tarred and feathered and sent out of town on a rail. You think that's funny? Well, let me show you. Your hair never grows back.
Well, why'd he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he has to guarantee to teach them kids how to play.
Well,
And to form them kids into a band, with himself as the leader.
well, what's the matter with that?
What's the matter with that? He couldn't tell you the difference between one note or another. He couldn't tell you the difference between a bass drum and a pipe organ. That's what's the matter with that. I'm gonna catch up to that swindling two-bit double licker, and when I do, I'm gonna squeal on him so loud.
Wow, you're mad, Charlie. Sure would like to be around when you catch up to this fella.
Won't be on this trip. Not in Iowa, anyway. Even the great Professor Harold Hill wouldn't try to sell them neck Botox guys out here.
Just got us there.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I caught your name, sir.
I don't believe I threw it.
Wait.
Cousin Will never come, Aunt Bertha never come.
Your Aunt Bertha is dead.
She wouldn't have come anyway.
Quickly cold as a falling thermometers in December. If you ask about our weather in July, and we're so by God stubborn, we can stand touching roses for a week at a time and never say eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirt and a bat to go with it. If your crop should happen to die. You really ought to give Iowa a try, Iowa. To give some boy down for more some reason to keep on things.
Mr. Squires, yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday. If you would accommodate me.
Oh, well, then I expect you ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs, who is late as usual.
Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus!
You old son of a gun, what are you doing here? But Greg,
Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
Greg, why didn't you let me know you was coming?
I don't know I was myself. Besides, how would I know you'd end up in a tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker back in the business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. And besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl. Ethel Toffelmeyer, the boss's niece.
Gone legitimate,
Yeah?
huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So what's the new pitch? Oh, don't tell me you're back in the band business. I heard you was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Someone actually invented one.
No.
Now give you the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. And besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher here who'll expose you before you even get your grip unpacked.
That music teacher. Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. How you gonna start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance and then get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
Well, River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys band. You remember, so what's new around here, Mars? What can I use?
Nothing except the billiard parlors. Just put in a new pool table.
Have they ever had a pool table here before?
Nope, just billiards.
Perfect. That'll do. I'll see you later, Mars. And remember, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Mr. Dunlop?
Yeah?
Either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here, I say trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a beer player. Certainly might have to say always might have to say it. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. If the cultivated horse sense and a cool head and a keen eye. Did you ever try to take a given ironclad leaf to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brace, and maturity to score in a buckline game, I say that a boob can take and shove a ball in a pocket. And I call that sloth the first big step on the road to the depths of degradé. I say first, medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit. And listening to some big out-of-town Jasper hymn tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trotting race, no, but a race where they set down right on the horse. Like see some stuck-up jockey boy sitting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil, I should say. Now, friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pots in a table, pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum with a capital B that rhymes with P that stands for pool. And all week long, a River City youth will be flirting away. I say your young men will be flirting away their noontime, summertime, chore time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled, or screen door patch, or the beefsteak pounding. Never mind pumping any water to your parents got with a sister nappy on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Folks, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker shirt, tell young ones, peeking in the pool hall window at school. You got trouble, folks. Right here in River City. Trouble with capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool. No, I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on with a loafing around that hall? That we turn out Bevo, turn out Cubets, turn out tailor-mades like cigarette fiends, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense and one fine night. They leave the pool hall, heading for the dance to the army, libertine men, and scarlet women, and ragtime, shameless music that'll drag your son and your daughter from the arms of a jungle, animal instinct, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. You got trouble. Right here in River City, with a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City, you gotta figure out a way to give young ones a moral after school. Mothers of River City, heed this warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knees? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes from Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell, and so's your old man. If that is so, my friends, you got trouble. Right here in River City, with a capital T that rhymes with P that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City, remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Oh, we've got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15 numbered balls is the devil's tool. Oh, yes, we got trouble, trouble, trouble. With a T that'll rhyme with P, and that stands for pool. Trouble, folks. Here in River City. Here in River City. Right here in River City. Did you drop your...
No.
Didn't I meet you
No.
in... I'll only be in a town a short while.
Good.
Yes, Mama, keep on, Amarylis. I'll be there in a minute. Oh, hello, Mama.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
Well, it was, Mama, all evening. Mama. A man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh, really? Well, did he say anything?
Well, he tried.
Did you say anything?
Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amarylis. Do-la-re-ti me a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved and nice and high as you possibly can. Now, don't get faster, dear.
Yes, Mum. Well, if you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
Well, I know what the gentleman wanted.
And what's that, dear?
Well, you'll find it in Balzac.
Well, excuse me for living, but I never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Oh, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural level, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But, darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all them other highfalutin Greeks.
Well, Mama, if you don't mind me saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about the stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase, who may be your very last chance.
Do you think that I'd allow a common masher? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to the blend of Paul Bunyan, St. Pat, and old Webster you've concocted for yourself out of your Irish imagination, Iowa stubbornness, and your library full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have a drink?
May I have a drink, please?
Yes, dear.
Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that any way to come into the house?
Hello.
Oh, that won't do at all. I'll have a kiss from you, boy. And that lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Well, Winthrop, where are your manners? Go on.
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it if you'd come. Winthrop?
Oh, Winthrop, the little girl asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amarylis because of the S, because of his lisp. He's ashamed.
Oh, we all know about his lisp, Amarylis. Well, Winthrop?
I'll bet he won't say it. No, thank you, Amarylis. Amarylis. Amarylis.
Sweetheart.
He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because he lisps?
Oh, well, it's not only because of his lisp. Well, that's just a part of it, dear.
What's the other part?
Oh, never mind. Well, it's just that he doesn't talk very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't talk to me, but I do him. Every night, I say goodnight to him on the Evening Star. You have to do it the very second you see it, too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Well, now, dear, don't cry. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never. I'll end up an old maid like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crosshand piece?
May I play my cross?
May I play my crosshand piece?
Yes, you may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the Evening Star.
I know, dear. Well, for the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. And then you can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crosshand piece.
school board will now present the patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not provide patriotic tableau. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the Watani girls of the local wigwam of the Hiawatha will present a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnishan, will play the leading part.
What on ye?
What on ye?
What on ye?
What on ye?
I will now count to 20 in the Indian tongue. In, teen, tava, feather, fit. Shot! Shot! I've been shot! Who shot me? Shot!
Mrs. Shin will recover. Don't think for certain young ruffian who's in the streets of our town. Four score and 7 years ago average. The Payne's Fireworks Spectacular, the last days of Pompeii, will take place, provided the rain's out by 9:30. It'll be in the Madison Picnic Park, the Farm Meadow, across the street from Fest House.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair? Well, that's right, Hubert. That's why we're all prepared for a storm.
Well, the Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, Jason. That's right. Now, you wouldn't last long on Payne's business if you were accurate most of the time.
Now, let me tell you. Now, stop, gentlemen, let's have some order here. Gentlemen, order!
Sounds like the number 8's late again.
Oh, no. I make her early.
She's late, all right. No, she's right on time. It's the matter you are. She's late all the time.
Stop bickering in public!
What in the world? We'll say it was.
Never mind!
We heard there's a new pool table in town.
That's what I heard.
Pool table. There's a pool table in town. There's a pool table.
Well, if you please allow me to get on with the exercises.
We don't want any more exercises till we get this pool table matter settled.
Let's protect our children.
Citizen corruption.
Smite the devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with its trouble, friends, with a wave of my hand, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Oh, think, my friends, how could any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Rah, 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 da, 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 rah, rah. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come a-tumbling down. A band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys' band. Do you hear me? I say River City's gonna have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have a boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples. And that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred, and you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once felt when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on the very same historic day. "76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They're followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, while 110 cornets were right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottomed timpanis and horse spittoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphoniums, and big bassoons. Each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who'd improvise a full octave higher than the score. Everyone! Now, you three. Now you all. That's good. Now y'all on the trumpet and the trombone. That's good. In a line now. 3, 2, 1. Everyone now. To the drums. This side. This side. That line, that line, that line, that line. That's good. Yeah, Marcellus. I didn't know you could dance like that. That's the sound.
That took a lot. I don't know.
Never mind. I want that head credential. Stop that hula.
Wait a minute here.
Thanks, Professor.
Gotta make an example of him. Ringleader, you know. What he does, the gang does.
Silly Clyde, let me go!
You wild kid, you! Hanging around my oldest girl? Father's one of the days of yourself in town. You wild kid, you! Tagging after my girl on
I
Sunday?
wasn't either tagging.
Don't you contradict
We was just
me?
walking together. Chili Clyde.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you was doing, my little Gracie Senior. You stay away from my oldest girl till you'll hear from me till who laid the rails. Hell, we'll talk about this band thing on Monday. 10 o'clock, City Hall. Sure. And I want that fella by your friend.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough. And he's got the gang waiting outside.
Well, I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Ah, gee, Professor. That's for the little kids.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about you playing the band. You're mechanically minded. You ever do anything with perpetual motion?
I nearly had it a couple of times.
You did? You're my man, you see. No one has ever invented a music stand for a marching piccolo player. No place to hang the music.
Chili Clyde. Wonder where I could get some wire from.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep wire. Oh, Tommy. Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. Miss. Yes. What's your name?
Anita, I didn't have any idea you was backing into me. God.
Do you know Tommy Gilis?
Well,
Tommy, I'd like you to escort this young lady home.
only accepted I'm not going home. I'm going to the library.
Well, Tommy, I'd like you to escort this young lady home by way of the library. Tommy, by way of the candy shop.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Yes, sir.
God.
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow, but you made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh.
The mayor happens to own the billiard parlor and the new pool table.
Oh, and what was my other mistake?
That's Anita. That's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We need your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind.
We need letters and papers.
Oh, make them put up a bond.
Oh, what's that I'm hearing? Ice cream.
Ice cream, but I don't sing, young man.
Oh, we'll talk then, down low.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you'll never see one of these men without the other three.
Well, Professor, you're wrong. They've hated each other for 15 years.
Aside from the problematic.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
Any citizens here where is not good in the
Excuse me. What? Yep.
puzzled and mystified, mystified, tell me what can be fair in farewell near, while
don't suppose you live alone or anything?
No.
I've got some wonderful cameras over at the hotel if you'd like to go back.
Mr. Hill!
Professor Hill?
Professor? Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, class of Hot 5.
Oh, well, even if that happened to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not so easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town. Oh, and I think it ought to be fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there that will give me some very interesting information about you.
Hey, Gregory.
Marcellus, and don't call me Greg.
How'd you make out with the music teacher?
Scrumptious. It out of my hand the minute I tip my head.
Oh, she did. Say, you sure could have swathed tonight. I mean, even I thought you knew something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fellow back in Joplin.
Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just you keep your eye on me through these next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no, Greg. Don't tell me you've added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
And instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music teacher, not for any 4 weeks.
Mars.
But you don't know one note from another.
Mars. I've invented a revolutionary new method called the Think System, where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people are going to want to hear music. And you'll have to lead a band.
In 4 weeks, the uniforms arrive and they forget everything else. Long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation, son. And I've got a time right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, Mr. Washburn, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, gonna line yourself up a little canoodling, huh?
Well.
Say, I could fix you up with Ethel's sister. She's a lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs, no spider ever. Listen, boy, a girl who trades in all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play full. And I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark and I fizz for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer and I rave for the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. Mars. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby doll baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots. No sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No, do young miss who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir. She's a fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop, I flinch and I shy. When the lass with a delicate air goes by, I smile and I grin. When the gal with a touch of sin walks in, I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
Mr. Hill, we're all agog, simply agog. You see,
everybody is so excited about the band.
I'm Ethel Toppelmeyer, the pianola girl.
And I'm Mrs. Dunlop. And this is Mrs. Squires. And this is Hicks. And of course, you've met Eulalie McKechnie Shin, our mayor's wife. Isn't this exciting, Eulalie?
Oh, well, I couldn't say. No, I could not say. I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure, but naturally I am reticent. Oh, yes, I am reticent.
Of course, Miss Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans for a dance committee, and Miss Shin, your foot. Oh, the way you raised it just now.
Well, I have a bunion there that bothers me.
What grace! What grace! What natural flow of rhythm! What expression of line and movement!
Mr. Hill!
You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary for the classic dance, mustn't she, ladies? Every move you make, Miss Shin, bespeaks das art.
Does it?
Will you? Will you? Say yes, Miss Shin.
Well, Eulalie McKechnie's Shin. Well, dancing.
Then you accept?
Well, yes.
Thank you. And now, the young lady who plays the piano, Marion Peru. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little,
Dirty books.
cheep, 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 talk a lot, pick a little more, Chaucer,
Rabelais.
pick a little more, pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, cheep, 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 talk a little, I'll tell. Pick a little, talk a little, cheep, 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 talk a lot.
The man lived on my street, let me tell.
Stop! I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who didn't have a friend in this town until she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium. Madison Picnic Park. Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who did he think he was anyway?
Well, I should say. Show off? He gave the town a library too, didn't he?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
But he left all the books to her.
Oh, she was seen going and coming from his place.
Oh yes, that woman made brazen overtures. With a guilt edge guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and silver wood. She was trying to break. Just melt her down and build a deal of lucky lead. Hold the steel here. Where a woman's heart should be. He left River City, the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer.
Rabelais.
I have just what you need back at the hotel. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. You were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young.
What?
The sight of a wiser girl for me, and that's you.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
What would you like to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. Marion. Look! Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Pee-wees, and 1 Big Lassie with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop them.
No!
Shh! It's a library. Madam Librarian. My dear, to make it clear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us, and the library caught on fire, and the volunteer O's brigadesmen had to whisper the news to Marion. Madam Librarian. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marion, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight. And the fellow would know that his darling had murdered her of his song with the moonlight helping along. But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin. And ain't talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marion. Madam Librarian. Excuse me. Hi, Marion. Miss Marion, I'd like to talk to you about Miss Marion, are you all right? But when I try in here to tell you, dear, I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, it's a long lost cause I could never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marion. Would you like a marshmallow? Madam Librarian.
Now you.
Well, Tommy, we've had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. I tell you what, it's almost noon. Why don't you go home and get some dinner?
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute here. Are you soliciting?
Why, no, Mershin. I collect doorbells. In fact, this particular specimen has unusual tone quality.
Will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why haven't you been downtown with your references?
I just missed you, Mershin. Your hand. Oh, no.
What? What's wrong?
That spread of the little finger, it's hereditary.
It is. What's that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How can I get one of those?
Sign right here, Mershin. That'll be $17 in port fee.
I haven't got a son. You unscrupulous flew-by-night. You unscrupulous. You be down to City Hall by 3 o'clock.
You mean this afternoon?
I couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Miss Brew.
Oh, hello, Professor.
Do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
Oh, I'm not sure I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your boy has the same firm chin and those splendid cheek muscles, by George. Not that he could ever really be great, you know. But...
Oh, really? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the great cornet players were Irish. O. Clark, O. Mendez, O. Klein.
But, Professor, we are Irish!
No, really. That clinches it. Sign right here. Your boy was born to play the cornet.
Oh.
And of course, I need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
Oh, his uniform. Oh, Winthrop, come.
Hello, son. Oh, why, certainly his uniform. And there's not a penny due till delivery, which gives him 4 weeks to anticipate, to imagine, to wonder, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Will it have
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A big red stripe down the side. What do you think about that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. And if you can get him to play in the band, well, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. Out of a crowd, I'd have picked you for a hug-carrying, clay-pipe-smoking, shamrock-wearing, harp-playing, maverdine pinching, Tara's Hall minstrel-singing Irishman be gum be jabbers. Where are you from, me by?
Gary, Indiana.
Well, I knew it's... Oh, wait, where'd you say?
Gary, Indiana.
Oh.
In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Yes, gold medal conservation class of Odd 5.
Wow.
How to do, Miss Peru?
Oh, how to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar.
Oh, he wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We are not interested, Mama.
Darling, he might have his father's musical gift.
Oh.
But he does have me jaw, you know.
Your husband musical? I'd like to have a talk with him.
Do you pry into everyone's home like this?
Marion...
Prying into personal affairs, we're not interested.
Marion.
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against. Why not let the boy's father decide?
Now, the boy's father is dead. Oh. Anything else?
I'm sorry. But that's all the more reason your brother should have something like this.
Well, my brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Oh, would you like to explain it to him? Well, he's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as for your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with a nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches or glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks? Miss Peru, I hardly... Gold diamond rings? Carnival? I get the feeling she likes the idea.
Yeah.
A little cautious, perhaps. But I admire that in a woman. Mm-hmm. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. Here. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crouch forward.
Thank you. That's all I need. Now I must get back to the hotel.
Professor, I do hope that you'll excuse Marion. She's not really...
No, don't worry about a thing, Miss Brew. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think about your future. Gary, Indiana, conservation class of a...
Mama!
Darling!
Surely a girl's future doesn't depend on every fast-talking, woman-chasing salesman who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity in music in this particular case does not impress me.
All right, darling, all right. But it is a well-known principle that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Now, Mama! Oh. Winthrop? Winthrop, I know you're there. Oop. Please take this to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You won't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
What are you up to now? Why do you need a book at this time of the night?
Well, I have a feeling this Indiana State Journal might help me poke some very large holes in that professor's claims.
Oh, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my saying so, what sort of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Grainer, who backs me into the history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Oh. Or Ed Gamage in that buggy of his with a removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. I'm white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who's not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew how. Please, dear Venus, show me now. All I want is a plain man. All I want is an honest man, a quiet man, a gentleman, a straightforward and honest man to sit with me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I would like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally you'd ponder what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, oh, him I could love till I die. Him I could love till I die. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who's not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight,
Hey, Sunita.
Tommy! Papa and Mom are sitting right there inside the house. Ye gods.
All right. And then meet me after supper?
I can't. It's Epworth League night. Meet you where?
The footbridge.
No, isn't that just what I said? First it was the lumberyard, and now it's the footbridge. Where do you want to meet me next? The Black Hole in Calcutta? Ye gods!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for the marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws, see? When you keep it tight enough to hold the music steady, you cut off the circulation and can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
Oh, Tommy, it's Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
That's the very first thing I said, or I'll eat hay with horses. Get that spellbinder's credentials I said the morning of July 4th, 1912. And now look. My wife is off dancing at any and all hours instead of in the home. The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city business. My oldest girl is boodling around with some wild kid, and my business has fallen off so far I can't find a balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found some very interesting information about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. Matter of fact, that's the only thing I can get out of him. Jerry Conservatory, that's about time.
Well, if you'll just take a little bit of time to read about the conservatory, I don't think that you'll have to look any further. Well, it's on page...
The Wells Fargo wagon's coming in from the depot.
Oh, likely story at this hour of the day? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon?
It could be the band instruments.
The band instruments?
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Please let it be for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what it could be. Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Prepaid subscribers COD. Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be. Something very, very special now. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. Don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I could ever wait to see. It could be something for someone with no awakening, but it could be something special just for me.
Men, you will all receive individual instruction in due course. For now, stay off the streets and become acquainted with your instruments. And remember, the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da, la-da-da, la-da-da. Here you are, Winthrop.
My coordinate, these things, Professor. Caesar, is this the most scrumptious, solid gold thing you've ever seen? I never thought I would see anything so scrumptious, and yet this scrumptious, solid gold thing goes Caesar.
Round one to you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by God tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll have you in front of the grand jury at the county seat. Now, Mr. About that book.
Come, George, Tempest Fugit.
You, what's your phraseology about that book?
The ladies' dance committee meets every Tuesday night at the high school.
Now turn. Take the body with you. Lovely, lovely. Now, let's have a go at our Grecian urns. 1 Grecian urn. 2 Grecian urns. And now a fountain. Oh, splendid, ladies, splendid. I predict that our Delsarte display will be the highlight of the ice cream sociable. Oh, gentlemen, if you're ready. And ladies, don't forget, I don't want to have to remind you again, keep your face towards the audience. Mr. Dunlop.
you think you can hold these kids back, you go ahead.
Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new steps Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what'll it be? Hey! Now, a woman who'll kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy. And a woman who'll wait till the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time round, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shapoopy, 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 shapoopy. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. Walk her once, she's raised the curtain, then you walk around twice and you make certain once more the flower garden she will never get sore. You beg her pardon. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Squeeze her once while she is and looking. If you get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. Once more for a pep rubber, she will never get sore on the way to supper. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do. Now little old Sal was no gal, as anyone could see. Look at her now, she's a go-cow who only goes for me. Squeeze her once while she is and looking. If you get a squeeze back, that's fancy cooking. What's more for a pep rubber, she will never get sore on the way to supper. Mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, si, do. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
We'd rather do it in front of your back.
Do what? Never mind.
Danita's scared of you, but I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scared of you. Chili Cly.
I'm gonna warn you one more time. If I ever catch you touching my daughter, I'll by gut horsewhip you till hell won't have it again.
Now, George.
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means peep.
Yes. Now, get out of this public building.
I got as much right in a public building as anybody.
Right. How do you get any rights around here, aiding and abetting the swindling activities of this spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now, get out. Get out, you wild kid.
Papa, please! It's cabulets like you make blood in the marketplace. Ye gods!
You watch your phraseology, young woman. Go home.
Ah!
Eulalie?
Yes, George, I only...
You tend to your dance.
I really...
I'll handle Zanina.
Understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a whole week now and can't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please, I'd like to talk to you
I'll
about...
settle your hash after I get these promises off my oldest girl. Yes.
All right. But in the meantime, I want you to know I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That kid's got the covenants of every boy in town. Just you wait. You'll be waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, the members will have to foregather together in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they have from tripping over their own beards. Now, let me tell you this, my fine, young, feathered, fine... Never mind. I'll ridiculous. I want this man's papers and I want them tonight. Don't let him out of your sight. He's slipperier than Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. I shouldn't make myself any clearer if I were a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mershon has behaved abominably. And I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
That was nothing.
Oh, yes, it was.
Oh, no. The man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The coward dies 1,000 deaths, the brave man only 500? Anyway, the mayor was pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor. And I'm sure a recommendation from a musical authority like herself would help, but...
Well, Professor Hill, I would love to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Oh, his cornet. Mother of pearl keys.
Well, I'm sure it's fine. Well, it's just that, he never touches it. Well, the first few weeks or so, he made a few experimental blats, I guess you would call it.
Yes, blats.
And he sings the minuet in G, well, almost constantly, but I...
La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-da-da. La-da-da.
But he still never touches the cornet.
Well, you see, it's
Well,
because
he said you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well?
Well, he tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Well, now, Professor, I don't
Miss Marion, the think system is a revolutionary method, I will admit. But so is Galileo's conception of the heavens. Columbus's conception of the egg. Globe. Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I cannot discuss these things here with you in public. But, if you'll allow me to call... When may I call?
Why any night this week?
Miss Peru, please join our Delphi committee.
Oh, Piccolo, Taco, we're so due tonight dancing with Shapoopy with Professor Hill.
Oh,
You dance like a very cool Piccolo with a boogie for your mouth. You had a golden shoe in your hair with silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will sing on the bowl for getting caught to purest gold. Here's where woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, moving toward golden shimmer, silver shoe, battle gold, heart of gold. Here where woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adore them all. Chaucer, Rabelais,
Sorry, Professor. We got our orders. We need your credentials.
We've been deputized.
Congratulations. You see, I've been trying to get my papers to you fellas all week, but we always seem to get off the subject somehow. I have just what you need back at the hotel. I'll be right back.
Sorry, afraid I'll have to go along with you.
Well, let's see if I have my key. Oh, what's this? A testimonial from Madame Renee, the only female bassoon player ever to appear on the Red Path circuit. That, of course, was her stage name. Her real name, Lida Rose Quackenbush.
Can I see that for a minute?
You'll never forget it. It's the same as the old song, Lida Rose. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion about the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Will you ever stop arguing with yourself? Will you ever tell him? Won't you ever tell him? Yes, I know I fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama.
Now, nothing. If he ever comes to call again, you see him alone. And if you haven't the gumption to tell him how you feel...
Tell him
well,
well.
there's nothing wrong with a lady like him.
Mama!
What's up?
Where have you
Fishin'.
Fishin'? With Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. And look, I still got some worms left.
Oh, well, did you have a good time?
Squawfish. He told me all about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. And he said he would take me there someday. And he taught me a song with hardly any S's. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. That's the town that knew me when. If you like to have a logical explanation, how I wonder upon this elegant fake payson, I would say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, not Louisiana, Paris, and York alone. But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home. If you like to have a logical explanation, how I wonder upon this elegant fake of payson, I would say without a moment of hesitation, there's just one place that can light my face. Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana.
Not Louisiana, Paris, French, York, but Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home.
I'll be right back. I gotta show Amarylis my white frog. Oh,
Yeah, I'll do the dishes, Mama.
Well, don't you have to change for the sociable?
Well, there's time later.
Shin's over around here?
Well, no, the shin's up on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Oh, criminy. Say, you're the piano teacher in town. You must know about this fella Hill forming the boys band here, right?
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling 2-bit thimble rigger. That's why I gotta see Shin. Number 8 only takes a 15-minute water stop. Sure wish it was 20. Like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Oh, who are you?
Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. But just now, I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from that swindler.
Oh, well, Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Big mistake's my old lady's corset cover. That fellow's been the raspberry seed of my wisdom too just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and he's not going to spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see right through him. He's no more a professor than I am.
I know all about that. Well, band leaders are always called professors. It's a harmless deception. Well, he's a fine director, and his scholastic is...
Fine director? Have you ever heard one note of music from any band?
Well, no, but I know...
But nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you would just listen to me for 1 second...
I'd like to do more than that. If I had the time, I sure got the inclination. But I gotta get back on that train, and I gotta leave war with somebody on the way to the depot. Bye-bye, girly girl. See you next time through.
You'll never make that train to the depot. Well, you'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I gotta leave war with somebody, and I can see you ain't the one to leave it with.
Well, just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No, well, I mean, I don't know you.
Yeah, I'd need more time anyway.
I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I've never met a man who sells anvils before, but that's something quite different.
Takes a real man, I'll tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal, you know. Oh, what am I doing? I missed my train, I'll get fired. I gotta leave word with someone. I gotta leave word about that fella Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin type. How do I know you deliver these letters?
Try me. There's your train, now run for it!
Why, you double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? He's got a girl in every county in Illinois, and that's 102 counties, and he's taking it away from every single one of them. Not counting the piano teachers like you he cozies up to keep their mouths shut. Neither of you's heard the last of me, Curly Curl.
To my name. Good evening, Miss Marion. Find a rose, girl, and I am hoping you're the same. So here's my love song.
Marion!
Confess you're fine. My rose, oh, cutie. My rose, oh, my rose, oh, my
Marion, darling, who was it you were talking to? Why, Professor Hill.
Miss Peru, top of the evening. Miss Marion?
Why don't you and Marion come up and sit? I've got some jelly on the stove.
There is no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, then I'll put some on.
Shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? Well, I didn't mean anything.
Now, Miss Marion, surely you don't think my invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment? The think system? I've been by your house to explain it to you a few times, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Miss Squires and several of the ladies.
I'm glad. I wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, evidently, it's not the convenient night. I'll see you later at the sociable.
Professor Hill,
Yes.
is it true that you've had what I'm trying to say is it true that you've developed a think system?
A what? A think system? A think system, yes! It's really very simple. As simple as whistling. You don't have to think about how you use your lips when you whistle. You just think of a tune, and it comes out clearly, right here. Try it before you ask any questions.
I'll take your word for it.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
Oh, music teachers.
Well, I dare say you meet dozens, even hundreds.
Well, yes, I have in my past, yes.
And have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
Some more, some less. One young lady had thought of the same system before I arrived. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Oh, please don't let me keep you, Professor. I'm sure you have far better things to do than explain the think system to me.
I can't think of one.
Oh, and I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, where did you get an idea like that?
Well, one hears rumors about traveling salesmen.
Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one hears rumors about librarians.
Now, I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison? My father's best friend. Well, no matter what people say, he left me in a shore job so that Mother and Winthrop could have some security. Well, now, surely
Miss Marion,
you don't...
That's exactly what I'm saying. But why do you think people start these rumors?
Jealousy? Narrow-mindedness? Well, jealousy mostly, I guess.
And jealousy mostly starts rumors of traveling salesmen. Miss Marion, what have you heard?
Well, nothing about you personally. Well, just... generally.
Well, what have you heard generally?
Well, just that it stands to reason. Well, that... Well... take you, for instance. Well, your attention to customers and teachers might... might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, now honestly, mightn't they?
Why?
And if you say another person or a salesman were jealous, they could be downright lies, now couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Why, of course.
It just shows that you can't believe everything that you hear. I mean, well, if you discuss things...
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you right now. But couldn't we do it sitting down? Your legs, they do bend and all.
Well, we could sit at the porch steps.
Or we could sit at a large hollow log over at the footbridge.
I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
Please, I can't. Some other time, maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian, you pile up enough tomorrows, and all you've got is a bunch of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama?
What?
I just told Professor Hill I would meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Saints be praised, it works!
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor!
The uniforms have arrived, and the kids are already in them. The people are going to be screaming for music if those kids show up at the sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's trying to keep the kids together at least, pretending to hold a practice over at the lumberyard.
All right, Mars, go get the rig.
Got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Look, you want to turtle waddle around here and get yourself caught in a bunny trap, you go ahead.
Mars, don't worry. I'll meet you at the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Marion, you're late.
Well, you said 15 minutes.
No, well, I'd say you're about 26 years late. It took you all this time to get to the footbridge with a fella.
Well, if you want to know the truth, it almost took me longer.
Oh?
Well, halfway here, I nearly turned back. Well, I suppose I'm not the first one to find it easier to think clearly when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Marion, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything?
Oh, no. Well, you've given me something.
I don't recall giving you anything.
Oh, yes, you have. Oh, something beautiful, and that's why I came, and I'm glad. Oh, please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. Well, one can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. And I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more, but, well, that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you have left behind for me.
Miss Marion.
There were bells on earth, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you. There were birds in the sky, but I never saw them ringing. No, I never saw them at all till there was you. And there was music, and there were wonderful roses. They tell me in sweet, fragrant meadows of dawn and dew, there was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was you. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all till there was
Miss Marion. There's a lot of things you don't know about me. Hey, Greg! Excuse me? I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz.
What? Who's the salesman here? It sounds like she's selling it and you're buying.
I had to keep her off balance somehow, didn't I? No. I had to keep her off balance. I didn't know I was going to be able to leave till tonight, Marsh.
Well, she's so far off balance, you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown. I've come up through the ranks in this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
But you can't get anywhere out here on the footbridge.
Morse! There's a place over at the Madison Picnic Park, near the sociable, that makes this footbridge look like an old lady's home. Now beat it! Morse, go get the... Unbelievable. Never a peaceful moment in this music business. Now then, where were we?
Well, you're about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to get into that right now, do we?
No, we don't. Or at all, for that matter. Well, the librarian hasn't felt like doing much research lately. Oh, but she did do a lot when you first came here.
Oh. About what?
Oh, about Gary Conservatory of Music, gold medal class of Ot 5. Harold, there was no Gary Conservatory in Ot 5.
Wait, there certainly was. I went there.
Because the town wasn't built till Ot 6. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time.
Yes. Well, since July 7th. Well, 3 days after you came, I was originally going to use this against you, but... Well, now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why, you little... Well, 110 cornets blazed away. Then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I ooped up and down the square.
Good night, my someone, good night, my love.
Well, 110 cornets right behind.
Our star is shining its brightest light.
There were horns of every shape. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
While 110 cornets blazed away.
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going all over town, spilling everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. Missed my train, probably lost my job. But I got you now, Hill, and you're gonna pay. You'd be in the clink right now if it weren't for that piano teacher. Told her all about you. Once you do, Lily gags me around till I couldn't get a shin. Little dried up, man-hungry, round-heel, Darcy Fisk.
You get out of here or I'll kill you, you dirty mouth.
You big bully! You big blow-off! I'm gonna stay in this town till you get yours up, down, through, and sideways. Why, you never even knew the territory.
Here's your stuff, Greg. The rig is in the alley. Come on.
You gullible green grass goats! Can't you get it through your heads? You're being swindled out of your eye teeth right now, this minute. There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're all fiddling around in the parlor. What? I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, ever since the first moment he came to this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There's never been any band, and there never will be. And if you don't chase this man down like a mad dog right now, there won't be any Harold Hill either. He'll be on the next train out of here.
Now do you believe me? What are we waiting for? I want my money back. Money back? I want it high. After him. And when you get him, find him, bring him to the gymnasium. After him. Look by the creek, out by the road, out by the mill.
Could I interest you in it?
have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, I've been looking for Winthrop. He's run away. Oh, please go, Harold. They're even talking about tar and feathers.
I had to see you, Marion.
It's all right. Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word. Not a word. Now go, please.
He's nowhere around here. Let's check over by the crib.
Hey, wait a minute here, son.
I'm not your son. Leave me go.
That's why I talked to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You wouldn't tell the truth anyway.
I would too.
Why not?
I would too. I'd tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No?
Are you a big liar?
Yes?
Are you a dirty round crook?
Yes?
Leave me go, you big liar.
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? No, I'm stronger, so you might as well quit wiggling. Now, there's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the start. And that's why I wanted you in the band. So you quit moping around feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think there's a band, kid.
And what's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, come to think of it, none of that's your business anyway.
I wish you never come to Winter City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
You believe him, sister?
Well, I believe everything he's ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us, and it all happened just like he said. Well, the lights and the colors and the flags and the symbols.
Well, where was all that?
Well, in the way every kid walked around here and talked and acted all summer. Well, especially you. And the parents, too. Now, does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, Winthrop. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor, hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
Well, for the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. All around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it all. Till there was you.
Greg! Greg, they're coming! We gotta go now!
That way, that way!
That this snake in our bosom would not have been misapprehended at this point. And please remember, my fellow River citizens, always remember that I did my utmost to keep this dire happening from
Happening?
Fourscore. What have you done to get our money back?
That professor collected nearly $300 just tonight.
And we haven't seen them uniforms yet.
He's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any uniform or my boy since just after supper. He's a kidnapper.
Fourscore. Just a minute. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there be those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think some of you ought to forget your everlasting eye of a stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you? Well, do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to River City, and if so, I should think you would want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there be anyone in this hall who does not think that this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him stand up. standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Have you forgotten how you bought expensive uniforms, technical instruction booklets, and high-priced band instruments? Have you forgotten that you had a guarantee and warranty that your son would play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where's the band?
Think, men. Think. Trombones led the parade, while 110 cornets close at hand. They were formed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, while 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom timpani and horse platoons, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell euphoniums and big bassoons, each bassoon having its big fat say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters would improvise a full octave higher than the score.